And live. Welcome, folks on YouTube, folks on Twitch, to another episode of my Lord of the Rings Online Let's Play series. This is Northstar. I hope you're well, taking care of each other, and being kind to yourselves. If I talk too much, I'll try and keep it short, but do check out this playlist, all my other playlists on YouTube, or most newest views, so you can see the whole series, all my other series. Anyways, I got Talk to Guard. Frostway here. You nosy patrons should mind your own business and stay in the festival area. You're out of bounds, dwarf, and you're out of your depth. So, I have more morale than him, so you're intent on sticking your nose where it doesn't belong? The mayor pays me good money to make sure folks like you don't dig up any unwanted dirt. Yep, and there, he just straight attacks me. You'd best clear off. There's no proof of anything. Really? Thought I'd just defeat him. I've had enough of this job. The mayor has caused me nothing but trouble. Not worth his life. But that's not the end of this. Here comes the real foe. The banker. You insult the mayor by coming here unbidden. I'll not let you smear the mayor's reputation or the reputation of this town, not after the sacrifices you made. Funny how evil people always say stuff like that. You fool! By challenging the fort, you're challenging the mayor. I think we'll send you to the stocks for this one. Once to knock you out. And I'll find out whoever sent you here, stranger. Make you wish you never grew so bold. Always the way of authoritarians. Do you think you have not also profited at the expense, or you think you're helping them but come here? But think, how many coins did Ruther spent? Yeah. Get out of here. Still haven't had enough? What's that? The banker's been driven off, and a curious piece of paper swirls into your hand as he flees. You search it over. All evidence of the mayor's corruption is on the receipt. Bye-bye, banker. My nerves right now. Slightly. Copy noise sensitivity most likely. But confront the mayor with proof. What's that you have there? The mayor looks at the paper in your hand and pales in alarm as he realizes you know everything about his irresponsible investing while the folks of his town go hungry. Investing way to enrich himself further. What are you going to do with that? Surely you don't mean to tell our innocent visitors this, do you? And he's very wealthy people talk about the only way they would actually know that. He's not exactly living humbly. He's spending the money on luxuries for himself. It's not like he's investing to make the town wealthier, happier in the future. Otherwise, no one would actually know that he was investing, because he would be living just as frugally as before. Please, I would do anything you ask if you just put that paper back where it belongs. In a way. What do you want? What share of the profit will appease you? You demand the mayor sets the wages right for the workers and gives the beggars back their jobs. And then you get to go tell beggars they have their jobs back.
Greetings.
Hurrah, hurrah, I cannot believe it. I've been hoping every moment that some luck would come my way, and it has at last.
What can I do for you?
You give me my life back with your news. I don't know what to say. Can it really be true, Haglin? Can the mayor have grown a heart? What a wonderful day. Things are turning around for this town. I can feel it. Bill hides the stag by the turn of fate.
I be of service?
Oh, good dwarf, thank you. I can feel it. You have had a great part in this gift that you now bring me from Marin. Good. Oh.
Oh, it's a sorry
What
day.
sorrow and what joy this winter has brought me. I can hardly believe my ears, Heglin. By what province has the mayor decided to give me another chance at life, instead of dying out in the cold? You are so good to deliver this message to me. My outlook does not seem so bleak now.
I'm sorry, did you need
A chance.
something?
Surely you're joking. How can this be? Has the mayor grown a heart? I'll not count my blessings. I'll go to work at once. This is wonderful news. Of course, still working with the profit of someone else. Even with the wages quote right, that just means less profit. Problem is ultimately wage labor and profit at the expense of workers and the power structure that allowed the mayor to do this in the first place. What's needed is the workers running the town.
What do you need?
Socialism. You've done a wonderful thing, Heglin. We workers don't have much, but we scraped together what we could. Please accept this gift as tokens of our gratitude. But know that we will not forget you, or the great deeds done this day. If we ever have opportunity to give you proper thanks, you can rest assured, we will. Some shabby clothes, tokens, a title, the blameless.
Would you do something for me?
And now it's back to the quests.
Would you do something for me?
Everything's reset. It's like a premiere another day. Beggars don't have their jobs once again. It's like coins
Can't you
again.
leave me to my misery?
Also take the firewood and stuff in the stuff thing that I was like, why can I do it? Tidying up.
Stay and hear me out.
Will you give me a moment of
Workers
your
are half
time,
starved again.
friend?
They
Hello,
don't have
friend.
energy to do
Could you
their
help
jobs.
me with something?
Help them. They don't feel motivated to work hard. This is one of the reasons, by the way, that socialist systems actually get higher long-term GDP per capita growth, and workers' cooperatives get actually slightly higher productivity in capitalist companies and have higher long-term survival rates than capitalist small businesses, similar size to them, is because people feel respected, feel empowered, and they get paid better. So they feel appreciated more because they get paid better, and so they work harder. When you pay people more, they work harder. That's long taken to be common sense. You have a system that pays people as well as possible, maximize the profits of the rich. People don't work as hard. Now, the cost savings to the rich may outweigh the reduced work
Hello
ethic,
there.
especially if they're able to motivate people with threats instead of pay. The threat of homelessness and death, especially when you tear up all the welfare system. So, threatening to fire people and then for them to die. Having lots of unemployed people around to take their jobs, the reserve army of labor, so to speak, which capitalism relies on. And you don't have a lot of unemployment, you get inflation. In fact, that's what happened with Obama, actually. I mean, Biden. Sorry, brain fart. The whole inflation thing under Biden. He revised the target unemployment rate down from 3% full unemployment, that is people completely without jobs. Usually there's about twice as many underemployed people who are only working half-time when they like to work full as that. So that's really 9% of the population underemployed, down to 2% with, then an additional
How can I be of
4%,
service?
so only 6% of the population this way. And just tightening the labor market a little bit like that led to wages going up and led to inflation because, well, at the same time, he didn't do anything to stop monopolies forming. This actually, monopolies have been forming. This actually accelerated the formation of monopolies because put companies that were already less profitable under even more stress, and the companies that were exploiting the workers the worst were able to buy up their competitors and jack up prices to deal with the tighter labor market, while at the same time trying to worked the workers so hard, you know, that people were urinating in water bottles at Amazon kind of thing. Which denies, but they always deny these things. Do you expect them to admit it? Corporations just get people to believe them because they have highly paid spokespeople who are usually attractive and charismatic, and people just, that's not the company, that's just somebody paid to speak for the company. You should not put any stock in what spokespeople say ever. Corporate spokespeople are paid liars. Oop, wrong button. Anyways, charity for
Can't you leave me to my misery?
this guy. This is to clean up. So move things towards meeting an essence reclamation scroll, which I can tell how players. Nice to be essentially self-employed. There is not really any wage labor for players in these games. But yeah, a token for final act there. It's also necessary to officially complete the chain so they get the follow-up later. Probably make that broken snowman. You know, Virgil, broken snowman to make you feel better.
How can I be of service?
I like the way you work. Your work is almost as good as mine. Maybe you can help me out some more tomorrow. I'm sure if you keep trying, you can do even better. He doesn't appreciate it. Of course. Full anyhow. Come by when there's a snowball. But alright, so I don't think there's anyone there to actually. Where snowballs at? Back. Chicken. Is anyone even watching? I mean, on Twitch currently, no. Probably not. Pretty sure that one viewer is me. But on YouTube, maybe. Never know. This shit, the buffer, even current trends won't tell me how it's gonna be. Attendance goes up. And Twitch video on demand. A lot of my videos get some viewers. And so some people are going to be annoyed talking politics, but the other reason for this channel beyond just oop, good thing I got a draw there. It's getting easier to do these fights though. Level up. Is, you know, a wish to push back against the rising tide of fascism. And the only way to push back the fascist tide is with a strong left. You think that socialism is too far in. Trust me, it does not. I spent a lot of time looking at this stuff. The socialists during the pandemic, that was the last straw, so capitalism was willing to waste all those lives even in its core. And of course, the U.S. has done some horrendous things in the third world and murdered a lot of people in those countries. And by a lot, I'm not just talking the occasional members of government that did regime change. I'm talking millions of people murdered by U.S. puppet regimes. The U.S. tries not to get its hands dirty, and historically, it's the Cold War mostly relied on puppets like Pinochet kill people. Pinochet was actually by far not the worst of these, actually. More like Suharto, the Indonesian dictator, who has over 1 million people's lives on his hands. thanks to, essentially the CIA and State Department supporting him, wanting to get away with this. Nope, more wretched trees. This might even get me the troll slay and everything. Don't beat yet. It's not high enough level. And of course, yet knowing the full extent of that when it became a socialist, like how much the U.S. has done, because you only really hear a lot of it when you start spending time around leftists, and they'll tell you this stuff because it proves they're correct. It's stuff that mainstream media will never want to tell you about, and there's documentaries and stuff out there, but they're niche. Not a lot of people sit and watch documentaries, so leftists and spend time around people who can point you towards resources and stuff that aren't even created by socialists, but just are not widely published. That the U.S. intentionally tries to keep obscure. U.S. government. Documentation of their crimes. The U.S. government has rarely actually erased evidence of these crimes until the Trump era anyways. Now it does, or just outright trying to erase. But it usually just relies on making sure that the proof is very obscure, that it's deep in some archive. The exception to that being when the accusations of the United States using biological warfare in the Korean War, which a scientific commission, the International Scientific Commission, that was what the commission was called, looked at the evidence and concluded the U.S. was guilty of small-scale experimental use of bioweapons in the Korean War, which was, a war crime. It was basically using Japanese World War II surplus stuff to try and gain insights into how effective this stuff really was. And internal documents show that the conclusion was it wasn't very effective to stop it, but the fact that it was even tried is horrific. And most copies of the report were destroyed at the border when there were attempts to bring paper copies into the United States, and it was like, oh, it was communist propaganda. No, this organization did. It was not a communist organization that did the investigation at all. It was a neutral international body, supposed to be neutral. Had people from the UK and many other countries that did this investigation. Of course, the British government then tried to smear the scientists who did it. It was under US pressure. But, so the most copies were destroyed. A few still made it in the United States and ended up in the archives of certain universities.
How can I be of service?
This is intolerable.
Not Harvard, if that's what you're thinking. One of them was, I think, UMass. I think another was the University of Michigan. There were actually some state universities, certain states that were able to use their sway. Actually, private universities were much more vulnerable to government pressure to destroy the copies. Some copies slipped through the boards anyways. And then U.S. actually went and destroyed them from the archives, which destroying archival copies of something proves you have no attachment to freedom of information or the truth. The U.S. is the bad guy. It always has. We've always been the bad guys. It's just become more obvious lately. It's not us though. It's not you or me. It's not ordinary people. It's the very rich people who control the system, who own the political parties. Heck, 1944, when FDR was still president, but he was dying, and that was common knowledge among political insiders. There was the Democratic Party convention of 44, and the Democratic Party bosses rigged the convention in favor of Truman.
To me.
who almost nobody knew who he was. The people who did know who he was generally hated him because he was quite conservative and he was accused of being a secret member of the Ku Klux Klan. He definitely had a family member who was a member. A distant relative or something. Not like
What
a
can I
nuclear
do for
family, but
you?
like a second cousin or something. So he had a relative who was in the Klan, and there were accusations in newspapers that he was also a member, and he was virulently anti-communist and a lot of other things at a time when the U.S. was fighting alongside the Soviets in World War II, and he was against a lot of the New Deal programs of the time, which he then claimed to be in favor when he became vice president. That's another story, just dishonesty on his part. But didn't really believe, or at time what he said he believed. But Democratic Party bosses didn't want the guy who had been the vice president from 1940 to 44, Henry Agnew Wallace, who was a social democrat. Think Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a social democrat, so was Henry Agnew Wallace, who was in favor of continued friendship with the Soviet Union, who was in favor of continuing the New Deal, who was in favor of desegregating the South in the 1940s, like doing it after World War II was over. And Democratic Party bosses, this is also an era when the Democrats were the party of racism and resisting desegregation generally. So, I mean, at least in the South, so it's not entirely surprising that they would rig a convention to prevent someone who wanted to desegregate the South.
Greetings, friend.
But, you know, the FDR New Deal coalition brought up a lot of very left-wing people in the Democratic Party. And these people were in favor of desegregation.
Greetings.
Anyways.
Woe be me.
So the party bosses rigged the convention, even though the vast majority of Democrats supported Henry Agnew Wallace over Truman for vice president, and the vast majority of Americans did, and even the majority of Republicans did. He was very much the clear favorite of the population, and most of the delegates at the convention tended to vote for Wallace again. They voted for him in 40, they were going to do so again in 44. The Democratic Party bosses prevented a vote in the first day when there's no question Wallace would have won. And then they talked to every single delegate and bullied them to voting against the wishes of their constituents
What is this world
for Truman
to?
overnight. Alright, festive glory. Done. Virtue cap reach, which means there's been an overflow. Finished up charity. And then it went right into empathy. Cool. Because it was already close to that. I guess the logic of it is smart enough to that. Finish out empathy, and then I'll probably go compassion, which is fine. Although I might want discipline instead. In fact, one more level there's diminishing returns. I'll grab discipline. They overflow from discipline, go into empathy anyways. I'll easily get 500 virtue XP from the next perfect snowballs thing, so one I should take long. To level. Right, the 7 stars at level 151. And another. Oh no, she may actually be human. Nope, elf, I can see the pointy ears. Okay, I might at least come back here for the snowball stuff. Though I don't have enough Yule Festival tokens for an Essence Arcane Scroll yet. Getting one of those would give me a huge boost to my character. You also notice I currently have very little money.
Friend.
I put some bids in off camera. Some auction stuff, put a couple more aims per auction, looked at my vault a little. I didn't want to bore you guys with that, and I was very tired and I wasn't going to be able to sit and record for more than like 2 or 3 minutes, so I did that off camera like before 2 videos ago, I guess it was. Before I came back to Frostbuff. Because, you know, they were putting a little energy. I had to go lie back some more because I had to go lie down some more because my long COVID just was kicking my ass, as it often is. I can't work like this. You have to even get anywhere close to what would be a half shift of work is. I have to spend, you know, 4 hours work. I have to spend a good 4 or 5 hours resting, lying down. I can't. No employers gonna allow that. It's not like they're gonna get a cot bed just so I can lie down, put in a dark room, and because I also get light sensitivity at times, and allow me to go there whenever I can't work any more until I'm energized again. It's just not gonna happen. The idea that I could adjust to work like this is insane and bullshit. Speak with one of the housing brokers in Eriador. Greetings, I have something to offer you. Since the eviction of the Dower Hands, the prosperity of Thorns Hall has been on the rise of late, and with the men of Breetown clamoring for our goods, even more so. Such riches seem to draw folks out of the stonework, if you will. It's recently been opening some wider tunnels and adding room for people to move in as they seek work in our mines and crafting halls. You should go take a look and see if anything there fits your own needs. Seek out Rooney at the gates of Thorns Hall for me. There's always room for another hard worker here. The dwarves always are willing to make room, add more housing, unlike, say, the United States, where now in my backyard about further development has led to a housing shortage. Yes, there are more empty houses than there are people without homes. That is true, but the empty homes are like in Detroit, where there are no jobs. Places where there are enough jobs, there aren't nearly enough houses. Subject, gift for a homeowner. If you choose to find a hearth and home, you'll find a little something for your walls. And this is partly because communities didn't allow enough development total, and so the ones that allowed more like office space that had jobs, had enough jobs, enough housing. The ones that allowed more housing didn't have enough jobs. Nowhere allowed enough development total. Right. Some power morale potions and a painting. Why are there healing potions? What does that have to do with housing? Alright, well. Use the simple celebrant selves now, by the way. The tier 2 morale potions are actually a little better than the lesser celebrant in the long run. Because let's see, you get about 80 morale, yeah, for healing over time. I think I already have one of these paintings in, yeah, on Glam Dream, but not on this server, I guess, so let's use this. An extra gift box for being extra. Oh yeah, and a sack of presents. 30 medallions, nice. That's basically a whole bunch of marks, so I can keep them as medallions. Some things require medallions instead of marks. Selling a villain gift box for 30 gold. No way it sells for that, but we'll try to send this for 12 gold. No way it does. Probably. Very unlikely, but if somehow it happens, well, that would be a lot of money to kickstart my development. Now let's sell the junk. These two. Junk. This is not. This shabby clothes people will buy for whatever reason. Don't know why they'll buy it, but they will. Some people like to dress up as beggars.
Greetings.
Cool. Use bags of coins to transfer money between characters on account. Just know what that's for. Anyways.
What do you want?
Store the universal optional crafting ingredients. How am I doing for time? 31 minutes. I don't know. People might be more willing to dress up as beggars during Yule, if I were to guess when that would actually. I don't know. Sometimes it sells, as I said. It's weird. Maybe it's just high-level players taking pity on us poors. I don't know. Or someone wanted to impersonate a spy, or Frostbluff quest to the horse races that includes a brie. Winter seasonal instances. Oh, yeah, I could see if there's any new equipment that's garbage where I might buy. Not really. I'm putting this off, but I should probably go. Let's go over to the homesteads. See if I can't find its housing location. I don't know. Places for solid never melts. It's good that you have come by, Heglin. We've just recently completed some of the new homes that we'll be offering to the prosperous, industrious folk of Thorn's Hall in our community. What with the men, elves, hobbits all clamoring for ore, business is brisk indeed, and has brought many a fine miner and forge crafter to our doors, away you too, it seems. Well, waste no time, I say. Go ahead and take a look around. You will find whatever it is you are looking for. The craftsmanship of our builders is second to none other in the hall, and your money will be well spent indeed if you buy a home from us.
Of what help may I be to you?
Tour homes from here, interesting. This is, I think, you go inside and check the technique. It's been a while since I bought home. But, I'll have to come later. This does make me think of my Dwarf Fortress Let's Play series, where you can dig out all the space you ever need underground, or build up the sky's the limit, pretty much. Towers. Basically, vast amounts of housing. the pleasure to cram our dwarves and sub-Saharan stuff, or vast amounts of stuff like shrine, dining hall, fortifications, if that's how you want to use space. But anyways, talk about that later. For now, I'm exhausted. It's time to cut this video. I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star to lead you until next time. It's Northstar do. And best luck.